Hello dear students, my name is Madina Baxodirovna and I am from Department of Translations, Bihar State University, and my topic is today's slangs, words and gender. And as you know, our our course is called language practice and its aspects. Yeah. So what is a slang? Slang is a vocabulary that is used between two people who belong to the same social group and who know each other well. Slang is very informal language. It can offend people if it is used about other people or outside the group of people who know each other well. We usually use slang in speaking rather than writing. Slang not only refers to particular words and meanings, but can include a longer expressions and idioms too. Let's see a lot of examples today. Slang words, even if not everyone uses it, so we need to understand what are the slang, how we can use it, because our interlocutors or speakers to us, they can use it and we should understand and reply in the best matching way. Slang or informal words can belong to the specific region or dialect. They are highly really creative and their phrases that demonstrate evolution of language over the time. Because as you know, the language always develops and let's say today's new English or vernacular English can be really standard English later as it times show to us, yeah? So let's look at the American slang. In American slang, for example, we have some certain phrases like break a leg, it means good luck, hot, attractive, cheesy, cheap and tacky, dead, balls and clubs, that's empty, quiet or sad. Like when someone will be dead, there will be silence like this. The functions are similar, yeah? Hold your horses, hold up, wait just a moment, who could be addicted to something? In English slang, for example, we have such kind of words. Chocolate, please, happy, late, a friend, posh, nonsense, gander, take a look, gutted, sad, disappointed, cheeky, do something disrespectful. In Australian slang, we have a lot of words, slangs like bonzer, great, awesome, do the hurry, getting to help out, the help out. One walkabout, food journey, like you go on a food, yeah? Tongue, songs, sandals, go drop go crazy, good day, good day. So they aggregate the words. And Canadian slang. So in Canadian slang, we have words like dark, asking for a cigarette, loony, as $1 coin, tuck, winter hats, Chesterfield, Coach soda, pop, a carbonated beverage, making a 375 ml bottle of alcohol. And the last one is internet slang. Why? Why we have an internet slang? Because as internet emerged and it's used widely and globally, some abbreviations and slangs have been emerged and generated all the time too. For example, today, so you will write with the number 2 now, and everybody understands it because it's really widely used. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tonight, tonight. For EA4, for EAE, forever and ever, it means 80 about. EDN, ADN, any day now. Wow, laughing out loud. It's really used too much as well. BRB, be right back. BTV, by the way. LMK, let me down, and so on. Why we need an internet slang? We have so many slangs in different dialects because it first of all saves the time and it creates informal relaxed atmosphere so you can um, relax and use your time to chat with your friends. You can use all of this time in order to enjoy your social life. You can chat with your friends in your proper way, in your friendly language. So all of the other slangs are just a piece of them. There are more and more slang words in the world. You can find from internet a lot of list of them, and you can use only with your friends who understand English It's not proper to use them in academic settings, in high official settings, and with unfamiliar people or with foreigner who you do not know. Warnings, there are a lot of warnings, like slang changes quickly and slang works. Words and expressions can disappear from the language. For these reasons, it is generally best for learners of English to avoid using slang. It's better to you to not to use slang, but you're aware of it and you can use only with your family or friends. And we do not how to say, we do not propose to you to speak them between foreigners or with the people you unfamiliar with, you know. And the thing is, each dialect, for example, in Latin dialect, British dialect, and Australian dialect, they has their own slangs and they may not understand each other's slangs too. You should learn all of them in order to use American slangs, or you cannot use American slang to Australian people, even, unless if they do not know it, yeah? You can see here American slangs, for example, my bad, it means my mistake. And yes, I use it a lot. My bad, my fault, or my mistake, no problem, you're welcome. No worries, that's alright. OMG, takes acronym for oh my god, it's a surprise. On the hour, an idiom for at every four and every hour exactly. Once in a blue moon, frequently. Party animal, one who loves parties. Pets the buck, transfer responsibility. Piece of cake, easy or effortless. Pick out to eat a lot, put up the front, trying to act, appear so, and so on. You can use more and more of them. And you can Google it from englishgrammarpdf.com and any other browsers on the internet. So, about more slangs. English slangs, for example, some shortened roots and they're slightly changed in the pronunciation, so it can be slang. For example, what job? What are you? What you thinking? What I'm thinking, yeah? One now, one, two, right? Race cars. You see in my pronunciation, it gets faster and one two becomes one. I'm on. I'm a taxi. After she got out of the taxi. Kind of. It was kinda nice to see her again. I have to be successful in this. Have to is a have to and have plus junior. Jimmy, I beg you, give me a chance, please. So even if we learn them during the years, yes, even I do not use them, and I really want to avoid of them because one may know it, one may not know it, and I really advise you to use more proper informal standard words instead of the slangs. Just gotta get my little back. Some current examples, for example, we have here in the slide, as you can see, he is a geek, someone who is felt to be strange because they spend all the time studying. Studious person, it means to say. General, like teenagers speaking about some elderly people in the park, look at those old forges on the bench, for example, yeah? It's all gone pure shift wrong, not as expected. So the word bank that enriches the slangs, it's not uh, too much unique thing or it's not too much bad thing to use slangs. But if you know them, it's best for your own sake. But it's also not so proper to use them in any settings. For example, in academic, IELTS taking settings, TOEFL or GRE taking settings. Yeah. So GRE is a graduate required examination. It's also test type of the. It's also test type of the um, international test type of like IELTS and so on. Let's say synonym. So here you can see synonym words that you can use: abandon, desert, falsely, abbreviate, shorten contents, ability, skill, aptitude. They're not slangs. We already skipped to the synonym words topic. In previous hour lessons, I've told that when we can use synonyms, our speech gets enriched, we will get boost our English and so on, yeah? Foster our learning and so on. But also it seems from the outside that when you know a lot of synonym words, like you're really intelligent, really sound, and it will be enjoying to hear you. Always people who study English, like really, they will be engaged in speaking with you, and you can be really appealing to them to be an interlocutor. So next, see here we have some unique synonym words that I want to introduce you today. For example, this the hot point of something. It's really a rare word. Zealot, a fervent and even militant proponent of something. Yearn, desire strongly or persistently. For example, I desire strongly or persistently to study in Harvard. Let's say, yeah. I yearn study urine in Harvard, for example, yeah? It means like, why? Because, why I didn't use any word after urine? Because urine inside, it has the meaning strong and desiring, yeah? Desiring, both word and adjective, it has already. So that's why I don't add any kind of other words. Yawner, a person who yawns, like, you know, the action, yawning. Xenophobia, a fear of foreigners or strangers. It's a psychological mental disorder. Or we can say a little bit um, flow of the person, of humanity. Flow. X-axis, the horizontal axis in a plane that coordinates the system. It's all about astronomy. It's about the axis of the planets. As you know, that all the planets they have the axis that they should situate. Wonky, random. All of these new synonyms really funky and really rare, unique. You should discover yourself, learn them by heart, go to Google it, and learn more of this and bring several of them in the next lesson, okay? So here in the next slide you can see 100 most common words in English that are being used. You should know as a linguist, you should know that which words are used too much in English. There may be frequent questions about that in the future, that's why. For example, in the first place is a Z. Article Z is the most common word in English. Next is you, that, it, he, at, had, by, word, what, some, time, has, look, and you. Why I listed them? Because they are too much used and too much underused all the time. So you should be aware of them. Next slide shows that we have a positive words. Can you turn to next slide, please? Thank you very much. Next slide shows us positive words like wow, joy, mercy, wondrous, wonderful, willing, smile, skillful, skilled, simple, seemly, secure, perfect, paradise, lucky, lucid, lovely, light, honored, honorable, honest, heavenly, hearty, and healthy. Why I am enlisting positive words to you? Because I want to say the psychology of words. For example, if I read a learn positive words, my mood raises up, and I will be really positive person. My psychology changes in my mind. I start to react positively. So all the words has magnificent effect on the people, and you should always try to use positive words in the speech, in your writing, with any kind of in any kind of situation, with any kind of interlocutor. I really advise to do this. What's the gender in language? We have a gender notion, man and woman, yeah, and we have a gender phenomenon in English, but not in Uzbek. We have gender phenomenon in Arabic language and in all the European languages too. And we use different words for all of the different genders. For example, in Russian we have three genders, female, male, and male. Yeah? In English, we have two genders, and sorry, we have three genders: male, female, and middle chick. For example, in the middle, we use the things, yeah, and we have pronouns like it. About a quarter of the world's language uses gender. In technical terms, gender in the language is just one way of picking up nouns in the class, so categories. A noun is a part of language that names a person, place, thing, idea, action, or quality. For example, a noun can refer to an individual name of a person, like Amrita. Also, it can refer to a place, a thing. It can be a noun or thing here. Yeah? That's why we need feminine or masculine genders. Examples of nouns might be Sydney, Louis Vuitton, Qantas, and so on. In some English nouns like Qantas can be male or female, masculine and feminine. It's important to distinguish between grammatical gender and natural gender. Natural gender is simply the biological sex of the person, animal, and character. Grammatical gender is a way of classifying nouns, but this doesn't always match up with the natural gender of the person or object being described. And some languages, grammatical gender is more than just male and female. Some languages have a neutral class. For example, Russian is yeah? Other languages, others have different gender of animate versus inanimate objects. Like here you can see red and blue, male and female types of the words. Gender is also a range of characteristics in pertaining of femininity and masculinity of differentiating between them. Some of them, for example, he and she, he is male and she is female. We have a specific words that we learn by heart while learning English, but we do not pay attention, and you should be really aware of this too in order to avoid some offensive language. And subject sociology studies all of this stuff, gender specific words, and what kind of words will be proper for any gender. For example, masculine can be actor, feminine actress, and neutral form can be actor. Author, author. Boy and girl, neutral form we don't have, but we can say child. Bridegroom, bride. Businessman, businesswoman. Brother, sister, sibling. Chairman, chairwoman, and chair. Congressman, congresswoman. Policeman, policewoman. Dead, mama, emperor, empress. Waiter, waitress. Why? King and queen, husband, wife. Because we cannot use some certain words, female related words for males and male related words for females in English. And we should have a clear notion in our minds that it's a man and it's a woman. Or sometimes the inflections and word type shows us from the word, even we hear, for example, listening, and we do not see the actual people, we guess out that this is a male person and this is a female person, and we use proper nouns for the next, yeah? So next slide shows us more this kind of words, for example, father, mother, son, daughter, everyone knows it. For example, Rachel, Vega, spinster. And in like American dialect, British dialect, and Australian dialect, they have a some special words that show gender belonging to masculine and feminine genders. Next one also shows us some gender inclusive terms. You should gender inclusive terms. Or, for example, if you want to use some pronouns, you shouldn't use he or she in a sentence, but you should use they. You should make generalization, and you should use a plural pronoun instead of singular pronoun. For example, gender inclusive terms, what are they? Instead of man and woman, use everyone. Instead of sister, brother, use sibling. Instead of male and female, use human. Instead of girls and boys, use kids. Instead of his or her, use their. Instead of using Mr. Mrs., use all of the mix. Instead of the he or she, use them. So you can choose and replace gender inclusive terms in order to be more polite and more sound, intelligent, and not offend other people. Thank you very much for your attention and for your participation for today's lesson. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was really helpful, and let's make another video lessons, and we'll see you in another video lessons.